So my name is Trakel Ward. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran, and I currently work with Breakpoint Labs as a cybersecurity analyst. Before I started with Intellectual Point, I was actually a truck driver. So I got out of the Marine Corps in October of 2021, and I immediately went into truck driving, like November 2021. So I was driving trucks for like 5 or 6 months. And if anybody if they drive trucks, they know that trucking, especially if you're driving over the road, it's a lifestyle. It's not really a job. So from there, I was just like in a place of wondering what can I do now? I was starting to realize like maybe trucking isn't for me, and I didn't want to just do the typical go to college and get a degree and live like off of BH. So I had an uncle who worked in cloud. And so I talked to him and I was like, do you know any programs for veterans that can help them transition into tech? And he told me about Vet Tech, which at the time it had only been around for maybe a year and some change, so it was fairly new. So I went on the VA website and they have a list. When you look up Vet Tech, they have a list of like approved, I guess, people that can teach through the Vet Tech program. And I saw Intellectual Point. And I seen that Intellectual Point had so many different certs they could teach for. So I said, I think this is the one that I'll go with. So that's how I ended up finding Intellectual Point. Initially, when I found Intellectual Point, I was kind of nervous because when I was in the Marine Corps, I was an aviation ordnance technician. So I basically worked on weapons, aircraft weapon and defense systems. So that was like the most I ever really had dealing with technology. So when I actually called the school because I was trying to figure out how to register and get everything approved. So I think when I called, I initially talked to Prim. And I was asking Prim all these questions, and he was very patient and very understanding in his approach that I was basically brand new to tech. So I talked to him, and he was like, look, for somebody that's basically just starting out and what's going on in the cyber industry right now, in the tech industry, you need to start with, or I recommend you start with the DevOps pathway. So I signed up in June of last year, actually. So, he basically told me it's possible. It's people who have come before you that have never dealt with any technology before, and they make it, just fine. It's just all into whatever, how much do you want to study? How much time can you dedicate? And how willing are you to put in the work so you can succeed? And so basically when he told me that, it kind of gave me some affirmation and kind of took away the anxiety and nervousness that I had about starting. I will say the thing that helped me the most was the community that Intellectual Point created, especially with the veteran corps. It makes it easy for me to find people who come from similar circumstances and speak a similar language to me, whether the Marine Corps veterans, Army veterans, Air Force, or Navy. We all kind of speak a similar language and have a similar mindset. So when I'm trying to study by myself and I'm not getting it, we had like a Discord channel that we could reach out to. And from there, we basically started holding our own study sessions. And so I definitely feel like if it hadn't been for the veteran-led study sessions outside of the curriculum that we had, I probably would not have probably wouldn't have made it, honestly. I don't think so. And not just that, but the access to the resources as well. We had access to a lot of different resources, a lot of different labs, different flashcards, different, even people that came through the courses before us that we can connect with LinkedIn, the Intellectual Point page on LinkedIn. All these different resources kind of came together and gave us so many different things to pull from that. You definitely had everything you needed to see. You just had to put in the work. That was really it. It was pretty. So everything was made kind of simple for us. Just use all these resources. If you got questions, reach out and put in the work, and you're gonna be fine. If I can do it, I feel like anybody can do it. I've actually recommended Intellectual Point and the Vet Tech program to, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 of my veteran friends. And I guess now that they're starting to take the steps to get into it, and they're starting out with their pathways or whatever, they're starting to see like, oh, I can do this, and this is definitely going to be something that's life-changing if I can stick with it. So I would tell any veteran that's probably transitioning or recently transitioned, or if they've been out for a while, like, you definitely need to look into the Vet Tech program and give it some thought, because it's something that for me, it changed my life. Like, the trajectory of my life changed 180% from where it probably would have went if I had not found vet tech. So it's something that I eagerly and earnestly want people to go at least look at and see if it's for them. And if it is, find you a school that you feel like, I recommend Intellectual Point, but find you a school that fits you and that can help give you everything you need to succeed. So I would definitely recommend, even if you're not a veteran, you don't have access to vet tech, definitely still at least try to pay out of pocket, because it's going to help you out a lot.